transmissions detected.
Kill them all.
Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Working so hard like a soldier, can't afford a thing on TV. Deep in my heart I abhor ya.
Hello, my friends. We've been amazed for a long time that people back in ancient times made massive structures. They moved millions of tons of earth and lifted megalithic blocks that, well, we can't even do it today. They even made artificial coastlines and water canals. And they seemingly did this with ease, too. Some of the greatest treasures we have today come from this timeline. Now, in between them and us, somehow, some way, something happened worldwide. Perhaps a flood. And we're back to making things with, copper chisels and stone axes again? You see, this timeline jump is what has allowed the fake or made-up history to be slid into place. It's hard to do this in a very old country if records were preserved, and, well, that's exactly why there's been so many fires and wars, and, well, everything was all but wiped away. Name one old city and there's a 100% guarantee that it has been destroyed more than once. It's easy to make it benefit you if you can rebuild it back the way you need it to be built, isn't it? Take the old power grid down. See, that could make you lose money. So what do? You replace it with one that you can control. And that's what it appears that someone or some people or somebody did to us. And when we see the huge cathedrals, the towers and the buildings with spires, we can only wonder what it's doing. It's almost reasonable to assume that it, operated like Tesla claimed they did. He said there was etheric energy and he proved it. Or maybe they're just lightning magnets so that, well, think about it. I definitely don't want to be around something with, copper wires sticking all up out. I don't know. It just seems like, all made out of granite and marble and stone that, well, electricity or lightning would hit it and shoot down its walls and electrocute everybody, especially if it was raining inside. I don't know, right? The ether was electrified and Tesla knew that all you had to do is tap into it. Somebody knew, In Edison's electric tower, the man who they chose to lead the way for their power grid, in his tower, water poured from the tower's portals. But what was it actually doing? Well, we know that hydropower was known, and, well, nobody knows really what it was doing. Whether the water was pumped up, siphoned up the tower, nobody knows. Not sure if it was just a waterfall of water passing through bells, or, was it going through some sort of filters? Nobody knows. If the tower's design, has anything to do with it, it's just speculation. It probably restructured our water and healed us, knowing them. And we just now know that it was deleted from records and forgotten about. Now, the history of electrical engineering, that's odd too. Not just how we got the power. Listen to this. In the 1800s, or actually in 1800 to be exact, the first battery was made by Count Volta of Paris. And that's really his name too, Count Alessandro Volta. Now, 21 years later, self-taught scientist Michael Faraday makes the first electric motor. This seems weird to have a battery first, but I could be wrong, okay? But Mr. Faraday took some mercury, put it in a wire, and wrapped it around a magnet around it, and put power to the mercury. Bam! The wire spun, created the first crude motor, an electromagnetic field generator / motor. Now, in 1834, an upgraded version was made. But where do you get that at? Huh? Take it off a cathedral? In 1835, John Frederick Daniel in Great Britain again, another self-taught scientist like the other guys. He invented a battery that would hold and keep a flow of electricity for a long time, like portable juice, you know? And this changed the world. We still use it today in our vehicles. Now, the only thing I thought this was weird about this is why do we have the same technology for 185 years? There's nothing else? Well, there's thousands of other patents on batteries, just so you know. Now, what gets even stranger is when men finally understood a crude version of electricity right in the 1850s. We wrapped thousands upon thousands of feet of wires around our cities like mad people. Isn't it ridiculous? It's so crazy. One day, when we had all this up, you know, telegraph being our main source of communication, that's why so many wires. Well, the Carrington event happened. In August of 1859, again in the 1850s, a geomagnetic storm hit the Earth. So it was said. Now, oddly, anything that used electricity miraculously worked, even if it was unplugged and the batteries were removed. Well, that's weird, isn't it? Now, the operators of the telegraph claimed that the signal and clarity had never been better. Even with power shut completely off of the grid, everything still worked. Now, yeah, you can only imagine how this could not be allowed to happen, right? Now, the scientists, in fact, claim that the sun always does this, just not so harshly. One of those few days back in 1859, before the grids were changed, well, it gave it all it had. It's just an anomaly, though. Never happens. Now, well, I mean, does it or does it not? Now, the same year, what, 1859, 150-ish years ago, rechargeable batteries were also invented. Think of that, right? It's weird. Anyway, this Carrington event, why doesn't it do it anymore? Well, I say it still does it. They always tell us the sun is, you know, solar storms are coming. So the way that our things are insulated makes it not work anymore. The filters, I don't know anything about it, but look, just think of all the filters, the transformers, the many things installed on our grid power has to flow through. And with all that technology, it does not allow feedback or especially absorption of power. Even in the machines, they work the same way. They're protected, right? Made that way, right? And perhaps it just needs to be very simple to work efficiently. Well, I can't get over the electric water tower. I'm sorry. It's water flowing through this thing. Now, was it really making power, or did they just run some water through there? I mean, who knows? But to make water go through there, especially that volume, I mean, it had to be pretty stout. You couldn't just make a temporary building and have water flowing through there. But oh well, they tore everything down, bombed it, or burned it. So, but did people really teach themselves science and physics? Did they really just be like, hey, give me some mercury? And I know that it's very, very, very scarce, and you know, no one can really make it, but I'm gonna get some of that, and I'm gonna get some wire, and I mean, I don't get it. You know, they invented life-altering machines and had the equipment and everything to do it. And I'm not gonna say, you know, they didn't. I'll just say, take Count Villa or Volta. Yeah, see, in Paris. Now we know that they were grave robbing all the catacombs, right? Now, did he find a battery and figure out the rest of it? You know, I mean, it's a thought. You know, I mean, I could say, yeah, he had acid or whatever, but did you have all that other stuff and know to put it together? I don't know. Did Faraday in Great Britain, like I said, go to a cathedral and get a ball of mercury and put electricity on it and say, oh, I invented a motor? I don't know. It just seems odd for people who weren't scientists to have that much, I don't know, supplies, I guess, in 1800s, or to invent a battery to store electricity before anything electrical was even made, like a motor. Maybe they are. Maybe I'm not saying this is not accurate history. It just seemed weird. That's all. You know, maybe it's a coincidence, and I don't know. Like, maybe I'm crazy. Who knows? But that's what I needed to say. My love to you all. I'm Wild Dog, and I am out of here.
Oh, we gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Working so hard like a soldier, can't afford a thing on TV. Deep in my heart I abhor ya. Can't get food for them kids. Good God, we gonna rock Electric Avenue.